A couple days ago, a video went viral on TikTok. It's a creepy guy leaving a disturbing voicemail to a woman where he basically hypes himself up as the perfect man, and the lady was truly lucky that he graced her with his presence. He's the ultimate fucking alpha male super masculine specimen, and he's taken time out of his busy day to send her a voicemail. And of course, this shit gets weird fast. He leaves multiple voicemails and they get more and more aggressive and sinister. Now, I don't want to spoil anything, but there is an interesting story here, full of a lot of twists and turns. It's like fucking Fight Club, but for a shitty pickup artist.
Yeah, hi there, Olga. It's Dimitri. Sorry I had to leave such a rushed message with you when we met the other day. I just want to quickly give you my phone number, and I had to get the heck out of the area.
Meet Dimitri the lover. He's the reason your panties are sodden right now. Be honest, if you received this voicemail, would you be able to resist him? Nobody can. No one has that kind of willpower. You would have to fuck him on the spot. So suave. And he's truly an expert of his craft. He makes himself sound so dark and mysterious. I had to give you my number and then get out of there. I had to get the heck out of there ASAP. I had to get out of town, scram and skedaddle. Why? What was so urgent that you needed to flee? What was the rush? Were you being chased by Batman? I mean, he sounds exactly like the Joker in the Dark Knight trilogy, so maybe.
In any event, I figure I better leave you a more detailed message and explain why I approached you. I am single. I have no trouble meeting women. I mean, women approach me 6-7 times a day. But I'm very particular about what I like. You're extremely elegant.
If a guy tells you he has no problem meeting women, then he has no problem meeting women. That guy is slaying pussy left and right. Dude probably has a threesome waiting for him at home, and you are lucky that he stepped away from that in order to talk to you. Spoken like a real alpha male here. No doubt this man's getting approached 6 to 7 times a day. No doubt in my fucking mind. That's probably on the low end. That's probably like during the off season. But I bet when spring break rolls around, maybe even St. Patrick's Day, he's getting upwards of 20 offers for sex.
I couldn't take my eyes off of you, and your friends were very jealous. Even if they say they weren't, they were envious of the fact that I approached you, and I was very taken by you. Elegant women are very rare. I'm Greek, and I'm very particular about what I like. So I'm giving you an opportunity here.
Sounds like he's about to pitch an NFT scam to her. It's like he's trying to sell her on some kind of multi-level marketing scheme. This dude talks like an anime villain who's explaining his plan to the protagonist. He's just so fucking weird. It sounds like Die Hard 3 every time Bruce Willis would pick up the payphone to talk to the terrorist. It's just so, like, unnerving listening to this guy talk. And then, of course, he goes into, your friends were jealous. Did you know that? I saw it in their eyes. They were so fucking envious of you when I approached you. They might say they weren't jealous, but that's just them lying. That's how you know they were actually really jealous. And you know what? You watching right now, if you want to make your friends jealous, get on the wait list for the new G Fuel flavor. Finally have a custom flavor, Divine Peach. It's peach plus kiwi plus dragon fruit. For billions of years, the universe has been building and evolving. And now we finally reach the apotheosis of creation. Divine Peach, a new flavor from G Fuel. An exquisite concoction sent straight from heaven, made by the angels. Join the waitlist at gfuel.com. The link to join is in the description below.
I don't know if you pick up the messages on the weekend, but I'm working on a movie script, so I'm pretty much around all weekend doing that. I left you my number, 416-9184. This looks like a landline, and if it is, you may not get the message till Monday. But when you do, call me, and then we'll get together for coffee and chat and let the romance begin.
What a great way to kick off a relationship. Let the romance begin. That's such a bold statement. It immediately lets the person know, I am here with romantic intent, and it's time to commence. Let the pussy flow, please. Where's your vagina? This is where the romance starts. Come on. Didn't you hear? I said let the romance begin. I think it's extremely effective. He's reinventing the relationship meta here. No guesswork anymore. Once they say let the romance begin, well then that shit better start. It's so fucking good. It's like a terribly written line in an old video game. Like some Resident Evil 2 shit. I would also love to read that movie script he said he was working on. I bet it was an actual masterpiece up there with The Room and Citizens Kane. But unfortunately, I think we all know he wasn't actually working on a movie script. He just said that to seem interesting and cool and unique. He was most likely just sitting in a dark room in his shit-stained underwear after hyping himself up in his bathroom mirror for over an hour, working up the courage to finally call the woman who made a grave mistake of giving her phone number to this psychopath.
You look very taken aback by my approach, and I hope that isn't timidness. I hope it was just a little bit of shock at being approached so directly, because I don't really date timid women, because I'm a very direct, very passionate, very assertive man, and I want a woman who's very independent and strong. So anyway, we'll talk about that, but I just wanted to formally introduce myself. Now I have. I leave the ball in your court. You call me as soon as you have the courage to. Okay, Olga? Talk to you soon. Bye.
This is a man who can date any woman in the world, and he's chosen her. How can you be so lucky? Some people win the lottery, some people win Dimitri, and you could argue that they're both about equal in terms of how lucky the person was. So, let me go ahead and reveal the big twist here. This is all genuine, this is real, it's not fake, it's not staged. But the twist is, this is not happening currently. This is about 10 years old, I think it's like 9 or 10 years old, and it comes from a pickup artist named James Sears, who also went by Dimitri the Lover when he was in the pickup artist game. He had his own little alias as Dimitri the Lover, and this was one of the voice messages he left to someone named Olga. That is not the lady in the TikTok here, and she's not trying to, like, deceive people or hide it. She, in another TikTok video after this, clarifies, like, hey, look, I'm not Olga. This is actually just an old sound clip from Dimitri the Lover, who actually sent this to someone named Olga. Now, James Sears, Dimitri the Lover, is in jail now. The most shocking thing I'm sure you've heard all day. I'm as surprised as you are. He was arrested for a bunch of hate speech related things and then rearrested after breaching parole. Now, I'm sure you all have a picture of what this guy looks like in your head right now, and I'm about to show you what he actually looks like, and I bet a huge amount of you are very close to what he looks like in the real world. He looks exactly like what you expect. Almost exactly like what I had pictured when I first heard this. So here he is. It's fucking wild, huh? He looks exactly like the caricature of a bad, goofy, creepy pickup artist would look.
Hi there, Olga. It's Dimitri calling again, the guy from the street. I left you a message several days ago. You said you were interested. Now, here's the way I work. I don't like leaving second messages, but I like you. You're a very elegant woman. You're very attractive. But, you know, I don't play that game. I know your friends tell you not to return calls. You're playing games like you see on stupid TV shows. So here's how it's going to work.
You just made Dimitri leave a second voicemail. God help you. Your soul is in jeopardy now. Dimitri doesn't like to leave 2 voicemails. In fact, the last time Dimitri left 2 voicemails, he cried. You gonna make him cry again? Dimitri doesn't like to cry. You can hear him starting to get angry. He starts saying, this is how it's gonna go. So we're getting to experience in real time the transformation of a nice guy into a bad boy.
It is now 4:30 on Wednesday. Now I'll assume that you've already left work, because, you know, some people leave early, and I'll grant you that. But if I do not receive a phone call back from you by 3 o'clock Thursday afternoon, I'm no longer interested, and you can erase my number. I don't play games like that. I'm completely single. I'm very intelligent.
Hey, listen, Dimitri, you don't have to tell us that you're intelligent. We all get that impression here. Just listening to you, I think we can all recognize that your IQ is at least 5 figures. Like, that shit is huge. That is a galaxy brain you're working with.
I'm great in bed. I make great money. Believe it or not, I'm a complete catch. I've only been single 4 months. I had a long-distance relationship. You know, went a year. It's very tough to maintain it like that, and it didn't work out. There's nothing wrong.
Undoubtedly, he is the complete package. This truly is a huge catch here for Olga. I can't believe the long distance relationship didn't work out. I bet this guy was doing everything he could to make it work. But it is difficult to keep that going when the long distance relationship is Dimensions with that 2D waifu kind of shit. But, you know, I'm sure he had a good time and it was mutual. And now Olga had a chance, but she blew it. You know, she didn't call back in a timely fashion, and Dimitri had to leave 2 voicemails, and from there the whole ass was blown off of this operation here, and there was no salvaging the relationship. They could have been a great couple. They could have been married by now. And this is where the TikTok video ends, but the legend of Dimitri the Lover doesn't stop there. There's actually still quite a bit from Dimitri the Lover, but I won't get into it today because there's a lot. He was kind of popular on the internet as a punching bag. I was vaguely familiar of him like 10 years ago or something. I knew the name at least a little bit. So there is more, but we won't go over it today. Maybe at some point we'll go through more of his voicemails and shit that he used to do, but for now, that's about it. See ya. I don't care what your plans were for today, they're about to change. So call in sick to work, and I don't give a shit if it's like the biggest day of your life, your wife's in labor right now, delivering your brand new baby into this world, and you're on the way to the hospital right now to be supportive and help. You're about to pull over, because I'm going to show you a man that's going to make you too horny to function. You're going to black out from pure ecstasy. I'm talking, of course, about Dimitri the Lover. A couple days ago, I gave you just a small appetizer, a little taste of Dimitri the Lover, and my god, it tasted like ass. Now, I mentioned in the last video, Dimitri the Lover was actually an alias used by a pickup artist named James Sears. James Sears used to be a name that'd strike fear into the hearts of women everywhere. He's like the boogeyman. But if the boogeyman was like 5 times scarier, he looks like if Tommy Wiseau and Harvey Weinstein did a fusion dance. And yes, he has been rearrested, like I mentioned, but today I wanted to finish the voicemails that he left because in the viral TikTok video we covered, it was only half of the story, and I think it's not right that we don't get the conclusion here to this wonderful fairy tale of sadness and disaster. This dude, I have to imagine, was collecting restraining orders like Pokemon cards back in his prime. Like, goddamn. So, we're picking up right where we left off.
I had a long-distance relationship. You know, went a year. It's very tough to maintain it like that, and it didn't work out. There's nothing wrong with me. Matter of fact, I'm one of the few men in the city that has nothing wrong with him.
It's about time, finally, a man with nothing wrong with them. A sane, rational, nice guy. I don't even know why he brings up a long-distance relationship that failed. I guess he's just still very upset about it, and you can still kind of hear that pain in his voice. It's just an old scar now, a battle wound that he can't help but pour salt in. Oh yeah, the relationship failed all because of her, no fault of my own. There's nothing wrong with me, she did it. But it doesn't bother anymore, I'm completely over it, I've moved on, I swear to God I've moved on. I've had sex 50 fucking times a day ever since, and I'm much happier now, I fucking promise you, and don't you ever question whether or not I'm happy about it. Also, I have to doubt whether or not this relationship ever existed in the first place. It seems like another classic manipulation tactic from pickup artists where you're supposed to make yourself look as pathetic as possible in front of a woman, hoping that she feels bad enough to have sex with you.
So I'm giving you that 3 o'clock deadline. If I don't hear from you, you lose my number. I'm erasing yours right now, so you won't be hearing back from me. So that's it. 3 o'clock tomorrow, or you can just completely forget it.
Actual serial killer vibes coming off of this guy here. Straight up the Riddler from the new Batman movie. Hitting him with the less you have of it, the more valuable it becomes. But instead of the answer being friends, in this case, it's brain cells. I don't understand how someone becomes this delusional, this out of touch, and not have a single iota of self-awareness like, damn, this is creepy. He is actually pretending to be a fucking movie villain.
Now, I understand if you've got other issues, like maybe you're not playing games, maybe you've had, I don't know, maybe you were abused in childhood, maybe your mother has cancer, you're going to chemo, maybe you're just a person who's extremely frightened or has an anxiety disorder, maybe you're on some medication for that, I don't know. There could be another issue that I'm not aware of.
Honestly, that's the only logical explanation for why she hasn't called him back yet. That she must have been abused as a child. All of that trauma from her childhood makes it very difficult to fall in love with a real good man like James Sears. Honestly, this voicemail reminds me of the movie One Missed Call, the old horror movie that scared me when I was a child, where you get like a phone call and it's a voicemail of you dying on the other end and then you die in real life. Getting a voicemail from James would be scarier than if One Missed Call was real. Like, this guy is so unbelievably creepy. He's making my butthole pucker. Like, I just feel like I'm going into fight or flight mode just listening to this voicemail from the outside. I briefly hinted at deeper lore in the last video with the whole James Sears anime, and once we're done with the voicemail, I'll get into it a little bit more, but he actually had his own weird, creepy newsletter too. So it wasn't just directly harassing women and making them feel unsafe, he also did it using writing as well.
But nobody says, call me, hands a person a business card, and then doesn't return calls. It's extremely passive-aggressive. You should actually look that up, passive-aggressive personality disorder. And you let me know if you've got issues, psychological issues, if you're on any sort of medication for anxiety or depression. I'm not interested.
Dude's making this sound like one of those dick-growing pill commercials like Cialis or whatever. If you're taking any of the following medication, then Dimitri the Lover's not interested, and then just goes into list potential side effects. You also gotta love the pickup artist classic of insulting the women. Oh, you should look into passive-aggressive personality disorder. I am a licensed psychiatrist, so I'm diagnosing you, in fact, with that personality disorder. And you're lucky that I'm even taking the time to continue talking to you because you're diseased. You're filthy. That is an actual pickup artist staple. Just point blank insulting women and being obnoxious assholes and expecting sex in return. Just like, hey, you stupid bitch. You disgusting harpy. I bet you suffer from loose pussy disorder. But whatever, I'm a nice enough guy to give you the time of day. So when are we fucking? It's so baffling to me, because almost every pickup artist guru I've ever listened to recommends some type of manipulation tactic that includes belittling and insulting the woman. And you can see it on full display here in these voice messages.
Okay? But if you're psychologically normal, and you haven't called me because there's been some horrible thing that's happened in your life which prevented you, that's fine. But otherwise, don't call me. Okay? Bye.
Yeah, that's right. There's only one excuse for not calling Dimitri the Lover back, and that's if you've been kidnapped, or maybe severely injured by a falling meteor or something. That's the only possible explanation for why someone wouldn't return Dimitri the Lover's phone calls. I love that perspective. Oh god, she hasn't called me in a week. Something must be wrong. She must have been kidnapped by terrorists. I'm gonna have to leave her an angry voicemail about it. It's so wild. She must have been abused as a child. Otherwise, why didn't she call me back? It just doesn't make any sense. I'm just such a catch. I'm the only guy here that is just perfect for her and she hasn't called me back. Thus, something must have gone awry. Maybe she has some kind of psychological disorder. Yeah, that's probably it. She's not sane like I am. So weird. But anyway, that's the end of the voicemails from Dimitri the Lover, at least the ones that I find. This was the director's cut of it. However, that's not where James Sears' story ends. So like I briefly mentioned, James Sears had a publication that eventually got him tossed in the slammer. That's what he was arrested for. The publication was very anti-Semitic and misogynistic. He was arrested on hateful conduct and then rearrested after breaking parole. I've only been able to find a few snippets of his publication, and you can see just how deranged this shit looks. It's like an old GeoCities internet page in like the late 90s. It is formatted like it's actually from a crazy person in Arkham Asylum. This shit is bafflingly wacky. And it's not easy to say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. It makes me question whether or not Dimitri the Lover really was as sane as he said he was in those voicemails. He said he was the only man in the city with nothing wrong with him, but then I look at this publication and I think to myself, are you sure? You sure there's nothing wrong with you? You know, I just have to doubt it. But again, it's Dimitri the Lover, alright? The savant of seduction, the savior of sex, right? Like, who am I to question his expertise? But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to at least finish the voicemail and tell you a little bit more about James Sears, aka Dimitri the Lover. Yeah, that's about it. See ya. Hey, how are you? Are you having a good day? I hope so. and I hope you won't be mad at me if I try and change that real quick. I want to put a very yucky TikTok creep on your radar, and it's someone I'm sure some of you have heard of over the last year or so. He's become a bit of an infamous boogeyman that a lot of people have talked about. Most notably, Oompaville made a whole video on him, kind of breaking down all of the awful degenerate shit he's done. He was actually quite popular. He had over 1 million followers on there. His initial account was called Snapshot Eye. He then had to make other ones in lieu of a lot of allegations that came out and a lot of information that went public. His real name is Paul Breach, which is fitting, because he keeps breaching the restraining order parents have against them to protect the safety of their children online. I'm only kidding about that. I don't know if there's any actual restraining orders against him. Even if there were, it would mean nothing to him. You can't teach the breach. He's going to continue to flirt and act inappropriately with underage kids on TikTok. It's all he knows, damn it. So, Paul Breach is an alleged predator, but a confirmed creep. And I'm not here to just go over all of the allegations. There's quite a few videos that cover them extraordinarily well. The reason I'm talking about him is he's blowing up yet again thanks to a clip of his that just went viral. This is during one of his nightmarish TikTok lives.
Oh, there's a plane crash in Tanzania. God, blimey. Into the lake.
So he gets this tragic news and immediately goes right back into lip syncing and shit. Now keep in mind, this man is in his 40s. Now, I'm sure you didn't need me to tell you that. You can look at him and immediately deduce this isn't exactly a teenage boy here doing this cringe-ass lip-sync shit. Terrorists have infiltrated a local Burger King. Oh, jeez. And they're slitting the throat of the hostages. Jinkies. Hey, prayers to the families. And I'm sure after just seeing this, you're probably not surprised to learn that he's got a very foul past. So, he's no spring chicken. He's in his 40s here, and he constantly engages inappropriately with young girls in his audience, and it's something he's come under heavy scrutiny for a long time. He's actually somewhat of a pseudo-celebrity in the UK, where people sometimes have gone out of their way to find him and make fun of him directly to his face. Sometimes there's even, like, in the wild spottings, like Bigfoot, where they'll start filming him and then go up and start insulting him. And it's become something of a beloved pastime over the last year. It died down once he kind of fell off, but now that this clip is blowing up again, I've seen that his channel on TikTok, at least the one I believe is still his, is getting quite a bit more traction from it. Even though this isn't necessarily the newest clip, it is a very silly and surprising one that a lot of people have had their curiosity piqued by, so went out of their way to find more from him. Thus, Paul Breach, the cockroach, continues to somewhat thrive. His whole shtick is posting thirst traps, even though if you're thirsty, this isn't gonna quench it. What he's doing is just gonna be putting sand in your mouth and making it worse, like giving you the fucking cinnamon challenge. What he posts is the opposite of a thirst trap. It is alarming. He is way too old to be doing this garbage. And I don't mean to be mean and rude, but he's not exactly a 10 out of 10 looking gentleman here. It's also worth mentioning, this kind of thing isn't uncommon for his streams, though it is probably his most preposterous moment ever recorded. To go from horrible news right back into his god-awful thirst trapping.
Oh, bless you, love. Bless you. Love.
I just wanted to show you another clip of how unhinged his TikTok lives are. So sometimes he'll just play sound effects to give the impression that there's other people around him, always women. This one, I don't even understand what the thought process was. I think he sat on a whoopee cushion to make a fart noise, as if it was like a girl over there farting, and he's like, oh goodness, hey now, that butthole's not meant to be usable, it's just supposed to be aesthetic for me. Girls shouldn't be fucking farting. Despicable. And then he plays a very clearly stock sneeze sound effect and then goes even further, love? And then, like, gets, like, angry about it, it seems.
Fucking hell. Jacob, thanks for the follow. So much. That is a fucking cracking impression of me, love. How you do that?
It's actually one of the saddest goddamn things imaginable. To be so fucking lonely that you have to fake interaction around you on a TikTok live stream where people go there mainly to make fun of you, because by this point he had already become kind of like a TikTok spittoon for people to stop in and spit a loogie into. But like I mentioned, unfortunately there were a few young fans that would reach out to him, and he would always reciprocate being flirtatious. He even got called out on this pretty often, way before like he had to take his account down. I think he got banned. I don't think he took it down. But there were always people taking notice of like, Paul, why do you always just reply to like these really young girls?
Why do you only talk to girls in the comments? Because it's only the girls that are commenting, and if it's a comment from a guy, I say hi. I don't know. Maybe because I'm dating them all and we're having babies. Only to the ones I'm married to, which is all of them.
Who could have imagined that the 40-something-year-old man making thirst traps aimed at children would turn out to be a real weirdo? I can't believe it. It's always the ones you least expect, am I right? I'd also like to show you another one of his clips that's somewhat blowing up right now. This is apparently one that he sent directly to a fan, and it is so uncomfortable to watch.
Lainey, smile. That is an order. And then jump in a cold bath. Get yourself smiling, get yourself happy. I've been a moody little, for a little while, and that is just stupid on my behalf. So I apologise if anything I've ever done has brought you in a low mood. I know I was at the start of the week, and I've taken steps to fix that. But you need to smile, you need to be happy. You've got a beautiful smile. Please use it, perhaps.
His brain just blue screens there for a moment. Windows had to have a hard reset there. He had his own little Mitch McConnell moment during this message that he sent to one of his fans.
It's always nice to get a message from your feet. And it's always lovely to see that smile.
What an uplifting video. I know you're sad, but have you tried not being sad and just smiling? Because I'm ordering you to. In fact, you don't have a choice. Smile. And you will feel better, because it'll make me feel better. And you should be happy when I'm happy. Damn it. I don't know, everything about this guy is really weird. So, since he is blown up recently, I just wanted to at least make people aware of who he is and his past, because he's not exactly just some, like, goofy guy. He's an unhinged, weird guy with a lot of serious accusations against them. And I've only just begun to scratch the surface of how awful a lot of the things he's being accused of are. And a lot of them he's never denied or anything at all, really. He just buries his head and pushes forward doing more lip-syncing and bad dancing. And people have confronted him directly, and he still never really denies any of it. It's hard to explain, and the whole point of this video was just to let you all know Paul Breach sucks. That's about it. See ya. If I was to ever do a tier list of creepy guys on the internet, the guy I'm about to show you would be the undeniable, top-tier, triple S super smokin' style creep god. The individual you're about to see almost makes that guy that was sending pig carcasses to the coworker he loved seem sane. I know I've called one other person in a video the creepiest guy ever, but the man I'm about to show you today, I think is far more disturbed, so much so that I'm actually somewhat concerned for the safety of the people around him. I'm sure you've seen this video floating around right now because it's going viral, and for good reason. It is scary.
The Cracker Barrel, and I was going to play a song for a woman that I kind of like, and I got there, and she saw me, and she immediately pulled away, and I wasn't forcing her to listen or anything, you know. I just wanted to play the song for her. You know, give her her own choice if she wanted to be with me.
Now, I'll quickly bring you up to speed on what's happening right now with the lore. So, the cops are there because the guy called them, I believe. So, he's a Kaioken times 10 weirdo. He called the cops because he wanted to report this girl's dad, a girl that he chased around while playing his music to try and win her love. And his music is downright horrifying. It sounds like 5 trash cans being violently slammed together while someone's getting murdered in an alleyway for the vocals. I have been so deep in this rabbit hole learning about this man. It's been like an episode of Mike Rowe's Dirty Jobs just gathering all this information. I'm gonna play you just a quick snippet from one of his tracks.
Fire sprout to the moon, to the top and grow! Elements coming together now! Whoa! Feel the rap!
The voice of an angel. I can't believe this plan didn't work. It's so romantic it sounds straight out of a Disney film. He also keeps saying he was giving her a choice to listen to his music and fall in love with him. Even though there's no choice here because he was stalking her and chasing her, playing this over his fucking boombox, I guess. But anyway, she was so frightened that she ended up calling her dad, and her dad got in contact with him and said some mean things to him. So the guy then called the cops on the dad, hoping to like get him arrested or file something against him.
You know?
Does she know you?
Yeah, I worked with her there for like 5-6 months.
Did y'all have a relationship?
No, we were talking a little bit, but it never really got serious.
Okay.
But anyways, I pulled up there, and I was in the other parking lot, and I saw her get in her car, and I was like, oh shoot, it's my moment. So I pulled up there next to her, and she pulled away from me, and so I chased her a little bit, just because, I don't know, women are crazy. Like, I felt like she like wanted me to chase her.
Do you not think chasing somebody's crazy?
Well, it's just like, I only went like a couple blocks down the street.
God, it's so sad that women can't appreciate a good, nice guy like this. Women are so weird. How can they not appreciate a complete psychopath chasing them around for a few blocks while blaring music that sounds like the soundtrack to a slaughterhouse?
Just saying, don't you think chasing somebody's crazy when they obviously don't want to?
Well, I had my song playing, and I wanted to like her to hear it, maybe.
Well, apparently she didn't want to hear it, right? So what else happened? Let's get on with this.
His complete lack of remorse and disconnection from reality is startling. Oh no, it's not weird. Like, I'm not weird. Why are you trying to say that I'm the crazy one for chasing her? I had my song playing. Oh, did I forget to mention that? My song was playing, so now everything's justified. Like, I wanted her to hear it so she'd have a choice to fall in love with me, obviously.
Her father called me up, and he made some threats to me and to my life.
Okay.
And so I just want to have his name on file.
What did he say to you?
I think he said he's going to stab me, like, but he's like cussing at me.
He said that, or he did say that?
He says, I'm going to do something to you. I swear I'd do something to you.
For chasing his daughter?
Yeah, but it wasn't chasing. It was like going down a couple streets. Like, that's like fun to women. Like, women like that. A little bit of excitement.
No, they don't.
Fucking unhinged logic. No, I wasn't chasing her. It was like minor stalking. You know, that's nothing. Women love to be stalked. Like, it's fun to them. It's exciting. God, what an absolute lunatic. So yeah, the dad calls, apparently made threats against him because I'm assuming his daughter called him in a panic, like, holy shit, this guy's coming after me, and I'm fucking horrified. So the dad is trying his best to, like, stop anything bad from happening, so I'm sure the dad in this, like, passionate moment's like, leave her the fuck alone, or I'm gonna do something about it, I'll give you a knuckle sandwich, why I oughta. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. To try and protect his daughter, keep her safe, doing what he can from a distance. Like, get the fuck away from her, you creep.
Women don't like to be chased.
What about, like,
if I was a
porn?
father, I'd probably tell you the same thing.
What about, like, BDSM porn, where women like to have rape fantasies?
Well, apparently this girl doesn't.
Well, who knows? Most women do like having rape fantasies.
It took us only about a minute for him to start mentioning rape after talking about stalking and, you know, downplaying how stalking's not a big deal. Immediately brings it to BDSM and rape fantasies. From fucking out of nowhere. Oh, you're gonna call me crazy for chasing her? Well, what about rape? You know, there's rape fantasies in porn, what about that, And then he has the gall, the chutzpah to say most women have a rape fantasy. It's blowing my mind here, this guy's thought process. Fucking crazy. I'm also 100% sure he's never had an actual conversation with a woman. When he mentioned at the beginning they were kind of talking, I imagine it's because they were coworkers, and she said, like, hi to him occasionally, or, like, while they were working, were like, hey, need to do this. And that, to him, was, like, meaningful interaction with a human female. This is, like, a scary individual. His brain immediately jumps to rape when confronted with his actions.
Okay, do you think she does?
I don't know. But
Apparently she don't.
Well,
So what do you want us to do?
Well, I just want you to get his name on file, just in case he does do anything to me.
Do you know his name?
I know his daughter's name.
What do you know his name?
I know her name. I don't know his name. He called me from a restricted phone number.
Okay. Here's my suggestion. Leave her alone.
A great suggestion from the officer here. Superb. Just get the fuck away from her. Leave her alone. Solves all the issues here. Case closed. Didn't even need Dr. Phil on this one to get to the bottom of it. The solution was obvious. Just get away from her.
Well, this is one song I made, and this was the final chance I was going to have.
Here's my chance. Here's my advice. It's over. Leave her alone.
Okay.
Fathers will hurt you over their daughters.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is she needs to have her own free will, man. You don't understand. I'm a man myself, bro, and I have needs myself.
She's choosing her free will by telling her daddy what happened to you, and I'm telling you, stay away from her because he will hurt you probably.
She's being controlled by him.
For some reason, he's so delusional, he keeps thinking that she doesn't have her own authority to make her own choices, yet keeps saying she needs her own free will. She had her own free will by running away from you. By, like, being scared of you, running away, and then telling her dad that is her making choices to try and protect herself from you. Because you are the threat. You're the fucking danger that's knocking on her door, and she is responding with her own free will of getting the fuck away from you as fast and efficiently as possible. It's just such a scary thought process because in his mind, he's totally justified in everything that happened here, and it's all normal to him. And the fact that she's not in love with him right now, not in his arms, in his bed, is because her dad is forcing her to make choices to split the two apart. It's not her making those choices because he's perfect. The guy with his music, his mixtape that sounds like 5 fucking squirrels being blown to pieces, he thinks his music's the best and he's the best man in the world, so there's no way she is choosing on her own free will to not be with him. That is a dangerous thought process.
That's fine. That's her choice, right? Free choice, free will.
I think she should go do porn.
Okay, you need to leave.
It's legal.
You need to leave.
Well,
we're not doing anything. You need to leave.
I'm having a discussion on it.
I'm having a discussion telling you to leave.
I actually appreciate how the officer handles this situation here. He's not giving this guy an inch. He is fighting him on every point he tries to make. Not that any of his points have any logical basis whatsoever or any sound reasoning, but I like that the officer's pushing back on everything, and he crosses a line when he says she should do porn. Where does that even come from? Like, everything this guy is saying is a giant red flag, and he needs legitimate help.
I was going to let her make her own choice after the song.
Well, she's made her choice.
And I just don't think she had a reasonable opportunity to make a choice, because I'm going to blow up, and I'm going to be a famous DJ, and I'm going to be like...
How old is she?
He still really believes that because she didn't finish listening to his song, she didn't have the right to say no. She didn't have reasonable basis for declining and rejecting him, I suppose. He believes he's going to blow up and be a famous DJ or this and that, thus she's making a huge mistake and needs to reconsider the choice, and her dad's making her choose this. It's fucking terrifying.
Oh shit. You know what? Lindsay's dad, I hope you see this fucking video.
Now, just like in The Dark Knight, we have the Joker turning the camera on himself here, and we get to take a look at him. And he really still believes everything he's done is justified and that the girl and her dad are the villains here.
You know what happens when women don't ever, come to terms with themselves? Bad shit happens. I don't know. Something, the cops want to deny.
And this right here I think should be taken very seriously. This is not a mentally well person. And this comes across as an actual threat against the safety of both the girl and her father here. He's already shown that he has no problem stalking women, and I really think this needs to be looked at seriously to make sure that he's not in a position to do harm to anyone around him. It's just very concerning.
Me trying to get her to be straight? Something is wrong about that. I don't see why these traditional-ass motherfuckers think they can speak shit whenever it's this woke, belligerent LGBT shit that has her right now. I just don't see it. I'm older than their fucking father. That's how I feel right now.
Yeah, this rant's really going off the fucking rails. So apparently the girl isn't interested in men, and his plan was to make her interested in men by giving her his love as well as letting her listen to his songs. And when she still wasn't interested, she blames the dad. Like, the dad is the one that's made his daughter not like him, and then says that he is older than her dad. Like, it's so fucking wild. But it is all very concerning to listen to. I just wanted to share this because I do think this is the creepiest guy I've seen online so far. And I truly hope that everyone involved here is safe, and hopefully this guy gets the help that he very much needs. Anyway, that's about it. See ya. So I wanted to start with this story. I haven't watched this yet. I've only read the cliff notes. There's a gym owner who owns a for females only gym, I believe. Yeah, 24-hour gym for females. And he has been caught red-handed, pants down, basically, with a camera in the woman's bathroom. And he's defending himself here in a statement trying to explain away why it's there. And I haven't watched the interview, so I'm pretty excited to see what his explanation could be. I wonder if he's going to try and take it on the chin and be like, I put it there. What are you going to do about it, huh? It's my gym. Or if he's going to be like, no, I got framed. Burglar broke in and installed a camera, dirty pervert. So let's see what kind of tactic he chooses.
I suspected someone of stealing from me. I spent some time. I'm part of their family.
Let me just stop you right there. You suspect they steal from you. But why do you put the camera in the bathroom? If you have like a really strong suspicion, you could kind of just like confront them on it. I don't think you need to gather locker room evidence and keep a camera installed there for it. Also, what are they stealing from the gym? Dumbbells? I feel like there's not a whole lot of contraband. I guess maybe snacks? Like, there's not a whole lot that you could really take from a gym. Easily, that is. You could just wait for them after you have a suspicion and then, like, confront them and check their bag or something.
I confronted them directly about it.
Nice.
They denied it.
Okay.
I had 99% certainty it was them.
Why not just...
could have kicked them out.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
An absolute life-altering decision to put it there in the bathroom.
I still don't see how that really solves the problem. You could have just revoked their membership. If you're 99% sure, you don't need to install a security camera in the woman's bathroom in order to get that extra 1% of certainty. For your own peace of mind, and for the sake of staying out of criminal charges, you could have just pulled the trigger and said, hey, look, I think you're stealing from me. I think you're lying. Please don't come back to the gym. You didn't need to have your security camera there as well. This all feels like a very convenient lie for why the security camera would be in the woman's bathroom.
And they arrived, and I said, this is my option, this is my opportunity to do it. At which point, the new member that had been here for 4 days instead goes in there.
Oh no.
Arrives at that earlier time before 5 o'clock. I thought to stop them. They find it, bring it to my attention.
So it wasn't even like a hidden camera or anything. This man just set up like a tripod or something with a camera in there, making it look like a Brazzers photo shoot. So he only had it up for a day. Very interesting. Not even a crafty peeping Tom, just a very egregious planting of a camera. There's no excuse. Well, obviously not, man. This guy's fishing for any crumb that he can drum together to explain why he puts a camera in the woman's locker room. He was better off saying they're stealing from other members. Oh, you should be his PR guy. You're right, that would have been a stronger position for him to take. I put it there for the safety of all the other women. We had a criminal amongst us, and I had to catch him. I did this for all of you, ladies. Now, which one of you is coming to my house tonight, Yeah, you were onto something with that one. Also, one thing I've always thought is kind of weird is when it's like a man behind a women's only facility, or rather a women focused facility. Like, it just feels weird to have this guy be the one behind 24-hour gym for females. I don't know if that's like only for women or not, but I feel like that's just kind of an odd thing to do. Like, that's kind of a red flag. I feel like that should be like, this is woman owned and operated and it's for women primarily, as opposed to having this guy kind of come in. It seems more like alarming to me, but maybe that's just me. I don't know, maybe I'm thinking too deeply on it now, in hindsight being 2020.
I am doing the same thing with the police when they arrive, at which point, due to my criminal past, everything that I've been through, I knew it was not going to look good. Yeah,
because it's not good.
Spoke to detectives the next day.
What's his criminal past? Is that in the article here? God, Lord have mercy. Hopefully not sex crimes. So they had a search warrant to his residence where they found a ghost gun and misdemeanor quantity of testosterone. I know what they mean, but this is like a pretty cool statement. He had too much testosterone. They're coming for our testosterone, boys. Run and hide. I know what this is, though. I understand what this charge is. It just sounds silly. So he was charged with felon in possession of firearm, felon in possession of ammunition, and possession of an undetectable firearm, and was also charged with 2 misdemeanors of using an instrument to view an area of privacy and possession of testosterone. Possession of testosterone, such a cool charge. Again, I know exactly what they're referring to, but fuck me, it sounds cool. He had 7 previous convictions for various crimes, including drug charges, public intoxication, DUI, prowling between 2006 and 2008. All the convictions were purged from his record in 2018. So they clarified that he was only charged with recording in a place of privacy surreptitiously? What the fuck is that word? Surreptitiously? He was not charged in a crime for sexual gratification. Henry Cavill might get 20 to life for his testosterone levels. Oh, he's possessing too much testosterone, you're right. He's not leaving enough testosterone for the rest of us. He should be charged.
Yeah, so why speak now?
Now that there's been a determination of no images or photography of any non-consensual nature, now that I have people who really count on me wondering if I'm someone to do something like this, and now that I'm just no longer wanting to take only legal advice, I want to speak freely, because I just feel like this is what I need to do.
I don't know, man. It just seems highly unlikely that anyone's this stupid to put a camera in the woman's bathroom in order to catch someone stealing less than $400 from you? I don't think so. I think he had a great lawyer, is what it sounds like to me. You'd have to be criminally stupid to think that that's a good idea. Like, legitimately. Basically saying he wasn't beating his meat watching women. Surreptitiously means in secret. Ah. He just found out that's illegal. Your Honor, you haven't taken into account that I didn't know I couldn't do this. You're free to go.
I spent so much time creating a place that was security and reprieve from life's craziness. And this has made it to where this place is now felt as the most uncomfortable and most violating place to be. And I am...
Yeah, interesting how that works when you put a camera in the bathroom. Fascinating. Again, I don't know if I necessarily buy into the, I don't necessarily buy the testosterone he's peddling here about how he just did this because he was trying to catch a thief. I really struggle to come to terms with the reality where someone doesn't realize you can't put a fucking camera in the woman's bathroom, or any bathroom for that matter. Like, I feel like everybody has to know that. Oh, well here, this actually goes into what was stolen. He told the Tribune around June he discovered some of his personal grooming products were missing from the vanity in one of the bathrooms. He said he stored teeth whitening gel, tanning foam, and a tanning glove, and $180 worth of face serum beneath the sink in a place that he felt was clear it was not for public use. Why would you store it there, though? If it was getting taken, like, I truly believe they just didn't know that it wasn't for, like, communal use. Why would you be storing your personal grooming products in your women's only gym restroom? What is that logic? Oh, he placed a GoPro in the bathroom. Corgan said he discussed what to do with one of his closest employees and his ex-girlfriend and ultimately decided to place a GoPro in the bathroom facing the vanity. Why would you ask your ex-girlfriend for advice on how to handle this? This seems like like sabotage from her, like getting in his ear. No, Corgan. GoPro in the women's bathroom. It's the only way. Is to get back at him. Yeah, GoPro's not exactly the most discreet or anything. Man just fucking posted that shit up. He situated it at a 45-degree angle on top of a mop bucket left by his janitor, ensuring it was pointed at the vanity without the toilet in frame. He said he did not put a memory card in the camera and did not have it on a setting where it stored recordings or photos to a cloud-based system. What the fuck? He just placed it on top of a mop bucket? How would he think someone wouldn't see that? What? He may as well have just set up a tripod. He honestly may have well just set up a tripod and tried to play it off like, oh my god, I was filming TikToks in that bathroom earlier and just forgot it. He said he put it on live view setting where he had to be within 30 feet of the camera to view the feed. He said he planned to only view it when his friend was in the gym. Okay. He seems very remorseful in this video, but I think that's mainly because he knows his goose is cooked. Like, this is a pretty indefensible thing. His business is going to shut down. I can't imagine. Well, I don't know if it will or not, but I can't imagine any women are going to feel safe going there again. You have the gym owner putting a fucking GoPro in your bathroom. Let's just assume that he's being honest and he's just so stupid to catch a thief that he would do that. That's still a pretty dangerous person to be around. To someone that dumb. That would be unsafe. So I feel like any of his clients or any women that are looking for a gym membership would steer clear from this place, rightfully so, as a result. How far would you go for something you love? This is the inspirational story of a hotel manager who risked it all for the sake of their passion. They pursued their passion with such intensity and determination that they would do anything necessary to get just a brief, fleeting moment of satisfaction from it, at the expense of one of their guests. This is the story about how a hotel manager broke into one of the guest rooms to suck on their toes. He loved toes so much that he was willing to go to jail again for sucking on them. There's a crazy plot twist to this story beyond just the actual suckling of those dogs, but it gets very ridiculous very quickly and goes in some unexpected directions. So I hope you're ready for a wild tale of something that just happened the last couple days in Nashville. And yeah, I heard about the hotel manager that was sucking guest toes. When chat brought it up the other night, I thought that was just exceptional service. But it turns out he was just sucking their toes while they were asleep. Nashville hotel manager charged after allegedly sucking on sleeping guest toes, a sort of nightmare. I actually asked this question the other day to Matt and Danny and Chase. Do you think if you whisper into someone's ear as they're sleeping for long enough and often enough, you could actually influence the dreams they have? I wonder if the people that were getting their toes sucked while sleeping, if they had, like, related dreams about it. It just makes you pee? What? How? Like, if I whispered... Let's say I wrote down, like, an entire movie plot, and I just whisper all of it to someone as they're sleeping and just keep repeating it. Would that have any effect on their dreams? Would they start reenacting my movie plot in their dream? I wonder. One day I'll try and myth bust that. Manager of a downtown Nashville, Tennessee Hilton has been charged with aggravated burglary and assault after allegedly sucking on a male guest's toes while he was sleeping. Oh, was it just one person, or was he like a serial sucker? David Patrick Neal was arrested Friday after hotel guest Peter awoke at 5 a.m. to find the night manager indulging his apparent foot fetish. He's since filed a lawsuit against the hotel alleging sexual assault. Neal cloned the key to Brennan's room and entered during the early morning hours without knocking or announcing himself. What did he think was going to happen? You would absolutely wake up to someone, like, suckling your tootsies. Especially if you're ticklish. That'd be panic-inducing. I mean, it's panic-inducing regardless to have this creepy fucking weirdo at the end of your bed just sucking your toes. Brennan reportedly screamed when he found Neal sucking on his toes and immediately recognized him as one of the 2 hotel staff members who had been in his room the previous day to help him with his TV. Oh, this was premeditated suckling. He was plotting. And he didn't even wear a mask or anything. He didn't even hide his face. I would have expected him to come in with like a ski mask or something. He looks like someone who sucks toes. Yeah, it looks like his, like, life juice That's what's been fueling him for the last, 10 years. Just a little bit of toe grease. Brennan filed a complaint with police following the incident, and Neil reportedly told officers that he entered Brennan's room because he smelled smoke and wanted to check on him for his safety. Neil did not report a smoke smell to hotel security, and no one else smelled any smoke. Well, it doesn't really explain away the toe incident. I smelled smoke, so I had to investigate thoroughly, so I put each and every one of his little piggies in my mouth. And wouldn't you know it, no smoke. Where's my medal? I'm a hero. Them toes were on fire. He was trying to suck the smoke out of his toes. What a hero. Yeah, like a snake in its venom or something. We just don't understand his ways. He might have very well prevented a fire, and we wouldn't know it. We're too busy judging him. All my life, you just have that sense of security and that sense of peace, right? It's not like you're camping and you have to keep one eye open, Brennan told the local outlet. You have that security that's yours, and when you close your eyes, you feel like you're safe and you're protected, and it was a complete violation. The last thing you would expect at a hotel is someone to sneak in the middle of the night and go to work on your feet. I was just so shocked, Brennan said. It was, who are you? Why are you in my room? It was almost like a dream, a sort of nightmare. It just didn't make sense. Why is this person touching me? Upon further investigation, Brennan and his attorney, Michael, with Rocky Law Firm, found that Neil had a lengthy rap sheet that included a voluntary manslaughter conviction for shooting his roommate during a fight in 1996. That took a crazy turn. It almost sounds like Brennan got off easy with just a little bit of a happy ending on his toes. Wow. How is this voluntary? This feels like just murder, right? Well, I guess voluntary manslaughter might be the charge for a heat of passion kill. But killing his roommate during an argument or a fight? Jesus. Multiple charges of forgery, drinking and driving, a manslaughter conviction as well, which served prison time. When Hilton hired this person, they had to have known. They had to have done background checks to know. And the fact that they would put somebody like that in a position where they have the ability to clone keys and have the ability to get into a guest's room. That's a great point. How the fuck did he land such a position at Hilton with a history of forgery, drinking and driving, and a fucking manslaughter charge for killing his roommate in an argument? Or a fight. This guy must have actually been sucking the toes of the person conducting the job interview. There's no other explanation. There's no way. That's not an easy position to land, right? I imagine at a Hilton. That's still a pretty reputable place. Brennan reportedly suffered post-traumatic stress and struggled to get to sleep in the wake of the alleged toe-sucking incident. The safety and security of our guests and team members is our highest priority. We're working closely with the Metropolitan Nashville Police Department, and as part of company policy, we do not comment on ongoing investigations. I am excited for the time they do, and apologize for the toe-sucking incident. Yeah, I mean, if that happened to me, you bet your sweet bippy I would not be staying at any hotels ever again. I'd just sleep in the car. But then even there, I'm not safe. Just have someone break into the car and just immediately start going to town on my feet. If this happened to you, would you prefer if it was a stranger or someone you knew? Oh, that's tough. I don't know. There's pros and cons to both. If it was a stranger, at least I'd never see them again and press charges, go through the whole song and dance. But if it's someone I know, then there's that wrestling with guilt. Man, I've been friends with this guy for how long? And he did this? Do I press charges? No, I definitely press charges. This is fucking weird, but you have that back and forth. So I'd say maybe a stranger. But then there's always going to be that lingering thought in the back of your head, what if he did more to me? I was sleeping on my stomach that night, and I woke up and my ass was a little itchy. I was a little sore. Could he have? No. But maybe. There's still so much wiggle room for what-ifs with a stranger. So I don't know, man. That's tough. Plus my feet are super ticklish as well.